Yes out. Yes out, my people. Abundance, supreme to all. Supreme to all. It's my song right here. Like a bird. I just want to fly free. Somewhere. A piece of land. Somewhere. Oh. Yes out, people. Abundance. Like 100. Listen to these lyrics in this song. Much for this thing. To my master plan. I thought I was. Tell me, how did I get live? Complex Cell, y'all should be singing this song. You thought you had a master plan, huh? How did it go down this way? I thought I was a love child. Tell me, how did I get? Yo, the mystical one. Whoa. Let me get on here real quick, my people. I don't got long because I gotta get out of here and go to work. I value and I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. I value and appreciate each and every. Let me pull this right, get this right here. Yizzo. Absolutely. Yizzo. My people that's on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. That's my movie. Yeah, the song was so important. Like, that song was so important. I when I listen to that song, I think about the things that me as a youth growing up in my very early young teenage years, and the decisions that I was making based upon the programs that I had, that I accepted in my life. And that song was very touching to me. See, if you ain't never been through true adversity and came out of it on your own, I mean, really been through adversity and came out of it on the other side on your own. I don't mean no harm when I say this. And I'm just saying, because of the times that we are currently in, I don't feel as though it is healthy for any woman or any female to deal with a male that doesn't deal with his father, doesn't speak highly of his father, doesn't interact with his father. I don't feel as though that a female should deal with a male that has a better or closer bond relationship with his mother, because a lot of you don't understand one thing. He's not going to be able to deal with adversity. He's not going to be able to deal with adversity. I don't feel as though that no male should deal with a woman that didn't have a positive male role model in her life. Not your grandfather. I mean, literally, even if it's your uncle, someone that actually gave you true game, a male that she actually spent time around. You understand? I'm just telling you, this is just being real, regardless of what you say, because you have something that will be embedded in your DNA that will be activated by a female being around her father, and by a male representing her father, by a male growing up with his father. There is something that will be activated inside of your DNA as far as dealing with the world. Because, see, a father is going to push his son to be great and challenge the world. He's not going to shield you and protect you. A mother's natural thing is to protect their babies, to protect. This is how we fail in slavery. We don't get it. We think it was just the abuse that took place with women. No, it wasn't. It was the abuse. When mothers watch what was being done to their sons, the mothers gave in. she gave in based upon what was happening with her sons. And if you can see this in today's society right now, you can see all of this trickling down right now. Even right now, with in current, nobody would, a lot of people don't want to admit this, but even right now, you can look in society and you will see how daughters are pushed to challenge the world and boys are being enabled. Just being honest. You can look at today's society. So when you look at that, that's why it's a mixture. You can't tell the difference between a man and a boy. A man is not determined on how much money he has. That's why most people that are boy-minded or little girl-minded, the first thing they speak about is money. They don't talk about their wisdom. They don't talk about their experiences and their growth and development from the experience, because a lot of people are still doing the same thing that they did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 4 years ago. They're still doing the same thing. When you have been through adversity and you are actually challenging the world, aka challenging yourself first, you actually see yourself growing, and other people see you growing. Just so that you know, other people see you expanding. And when you're on a upright trajectory, what happens is the ones that can't move or can't grow because they're stuck in the mud because of the programs that they accepted, they look at you like something is wrong with you. They're mad at you. It's just a fact. I'm not a relationship specialist, nor do I want to be one. The bottom line when it comes down to a relationship is that you should look an individual in their eye and you should tell them what your expectations is of the relationship. That's the best thing that I can tell anybody. When it comes from a woman to a man, the first thing I would say if I was a woman, what was the last book you read? What do you read on a regular basis? Not what you watch on TV, but what do you read on a regular basis? If I was a woman, this is what I tell my daughter. What do you read on a regular basis? And what could you teach me or give me that's healthy for my mind that I can carry on in life, whether me and you are together or not? That's what I would say. That's exactly what I would say if I was a woman. And far as a male, when it comes to dealing with a woman, you have to be honestly and direct with her, straightforward with her. Yeah, you look good and yeah, you are attractive, but here's the expectations I have for you. How do you speak to me? How do you speak to yourself? Because how you treat yourself is going to how you treat yourself is how you're going to treat others. Not how you cover up yourself from the outside in, but how do you treat yourself from the inside out? That's how you're going to speak, and that's how you're going to deal with others. Are you ready to be a mother? See, a lot of us get in these relationships and we just winging it, or we just want to build businesses. We just want to go on vacation. You know how many people that just got on in relationships and they going on trips and going on vacation. As soon as she get pregnant, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. That should have been the beginning of the universe. Pregnancy shouldn't equal to the end of the world. Pregnancy should equal to the beginning of the universe. The universe, the unit between you and her. That should be the greatest thing that ever took place. Not Jamaica, not Hawaii, not the Dominican Republic, not no fucking other island, but the unity that's between you and her. That should be the most greatest thing. But we have lost sight of that. Now, this video definitely is not wasn't about relationships, sure, at all. You know, I don't speak about that other than a relationship with yourself. That's the most important thing. I want to talk about these X flares that are actually coming to this planet right now. And what is it doing to us? So if you haven't noticed, driving in the streets today, right? When it's sunny outside, if you haven't noticed, give me 1 second here. I want to make sure I have this up. If you haven't noticed, driving in the streets today, give me 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Sure I have this up. When the sun is out, right? You see the sun visors are down. You see more car accidents than ever now. You see the erratic, unchecked emotions on the road. You see the crazy driving. You know where this is coming from? This is coming from the energies, the frequencies, the wavelengths that are coming from the sun. It is altering everyone on this planet. Some of us, it is altering us to be more peaceful, to seek wisdom, and knowledge, and other people it is altering them in a in a in a in a physical way that is irritating to them, and any little thing will set them off. I have said this on Instagram, and I'm saying this on YouTube, and I said this before. So-called Black women, I will ask you, please don't be alone at certain times in the evening or at night. Don't argue with any one of these jokers on a road when it comes to you driving. Please do not do that. That's not your place. And right now, these species is more dangerous than ever. Whether you want to face that fact or not, it's more dangerous than ever. You can pull up plenty of videos that you will see these males are challenging women. You understand what I'm saying to you? So if I was you, I'm just saying, please just be mindful. I'm not telling you don't travel by yourself. If you want to do that, fine. But if you get into any type of situation that you have to use verbal, you have to raise your voice to the complex cell, and even some of our own Black men, just so that you know, even some of us are totally fucking disrespectful. I just want you to know, when I say totally, completely out of pocket to strangers, I mean literally to strangers. You have no road etiquette. We lost our place. You understand? We literally lost our place and our respect level because we don't value life like we used to. We don't really value life. If we value life the way that we used to, then you would be more respected and more honored. And I would like for you to value life and respect for yourself, because then that would automatically trickle down into us. Automatically. Now, I'm not making excuses or exonerating grown ass men, because grown ass men have a duty and a responsibility to understand that you are a female. However, there is limitations. This world, it says that you are a female, so therefore you can just do whatever you want. No, it should be structure behind you being a woman. And I understand why the structure isn't there, because they want it that way, especially when you look at our race. We're the most, we disrespect each other at the highest of all other races. We have no self-respect for each other or ourselves. And we will go to war with each other over a parking spot, over materialistic things, but we would not actually challenge each other when it comes down to wisdom and self-discipline. We don't want to challenge each other when it comes to that. And those that are elevating on that level, they seem to always have an issue with the ones that can't elevate to that level. You see, it's always a problem, because if you interrogate, there would be no more trigger words in 2025 going forward on this Gregorian calendar. Whenever you make a statement, you're gonna have to go into detail. Don't just use trigger words to say men ain't shit. No, okay, explain to me why you say men ain't shit. I don't just say women aren't good mothers. Explain to me why would you say women are not good mothers. That's all. We have to interrogate this shit, and we're not allowing just trigger words to fuel our unchecked emotions, because that's what is happening. That's all that's happening on the planet. And we use you know what's hurtful? And I want to be honest with you. How could we ever use the world to compartmentalize each other? How can we use an economic system? How can we use an education? How can we use the words, the language in what we speak is a demonic language? How can we use this? How can we even begin to use these things to belittle each other? How can we do it? Which means, to be honest with you, the most ignorant people on the planet and the most people that cannot change and don't want to accept what's truly happening on the planet, those are the people that uses their complex cell or their master's way of thinking to try to minimize you as a star being. But this is why the universe is doing one thing with her sun. New light is coming into the planet, and that light is hitting a different portion of your brain. That is activating the portion of your brain that this entity was trying to keep dormant. Your prefrontal lobe and your frontal lobe, your right hemisphere of your brain is coming online. We have been stuck in a mammalian part of our brain for quite some time. Now we're going to the neo-mammalian part of our brain. We're going to use our entire brain. And that's scary for a lot of people. Why? Because most people are truly so enamored, so knee deep in this world that they refuse to see reality for what it is. The spiritual community has turned into the religious community. The spiritual community. I'm literally watching it. It had literally metaphors into the fucking religious community. If you don't believe that the earth is flat around, or you don't want to talk about that, we can't talk about that. If you don't believe that there are other life forms on other planets that are having conflict with one another, then you don't want to talk about nothing. But however, we don't want to talk about the things that we can actually change right here on this planet. If we was to resolve one issue, and that's allowing free access to the mental and physical development of our children by a foreign species, if we was to change that right there, everything else will start to change. Everything else will start to change. We think we need to get money. We think we need to learn the law of the land. I'm so French toast confused about why is it that you have to tell me that I need to learn the law of the land when I was here before that person got here? And that person came here, raped, colonized, abused, mutilated, and then created laws to fit this person's lifestyle. How does that make sense? And for the educated ones that are pumping this to our brothers and sisters, I have to ask you, I question your mental status. I truly do. I honestly question your mental status because it's overwhelming evidence. And you can even look at a movie, Avatar. Avatar showed you this. That's why so many complex cell people that watch Avatar, the first one, they got upset with that movie. You should see the reports that was written and how they was complaining about Avatar because a group of people showed up out of nowhere and came and offered basketball, education, and medicine. And these people was like, we don't need none of that shit. Why the hell we need you here? And in turn, you were actually manipulating your way in so that way you can tear up our community and dig out and take our resources. The same thing that's happening with us. So it's very mentally disturbing to me to sit here and listen to our brothers and sisters. And I'm not knocking you. If that's what you feel like you need to do, go ahead. We need to clear our name. We need to take back our social security number. I don't mean to laugh at you, but this really is a joke. I'm trying to laugh but stop from crying, to be honest with you. We need to learn the laws of the land so they can stop abusing us. Wait a minute. Where did you come from in the first place? And when I first saw you, you were on all fours. You couldn't clean yourself. You didn't bathe yourself. You ate shit and piss, and you was actually raping and killing each other and eating each other when we saw you. So how did you go from that to now abusing us and telling us that we're unfit parents if we don't bring our children to your school and we don't allow you to medically evaluate our children? How is that even sane? How did we fall for this shit here? And how is that our own brothers and sisters is coaching this to us? That's how I know that. They talk about the white man is the problem. The complex cell is the problem. No, it's not. It's our own people. You don't get this. It's our own people that are doing this to us. They are influencing, manipulating our own children to continue to be slaves. Literally. And you don't want to you really don't want to take inventory in this. So that's why and let me just say this. It's not like they don't know I'm telling the truth. Because you know one thing about our people, I've said this before. They will be quick to make a video. They won't say a name, but they will be quick to make a video to try to bash you if you're saying something completely wrong. Not only that, YouTube, Instagram, social media make it their business to shadow ban the shit out of my videos. Whenever they allow a video to go through, the video get over 1 million views. Whenever they allow a video to flow and they don't touch my shit, 1 million views. It's no way in the world that I'm recording the sky with a pulsating sun, a green or a blue Kachina, and you see Star Family moving through the sky. How in the hell that ain't got 1 million views? But you'll put on you'll go on YouTube and you'll put on Secure Team, and guess what? Secure Team be talking about the same shit I'm talking about in the sky, but he don't have nowhere near the evidence that I'm showing. But you'd be like, well, how did this get all these views? And this one over here, because they don't like the truth behind the message and what I'm stating. See, when they get on there and they show well, I don't know what these are. I don't know what's happening. Who is these? Is this our government? Is this Project Bluebeam? All the manipulating words, all of that bullshit. When I'm sitting there, when clearly crop circles, the message from 1977 made it very clear. You can play around all you want to, but we are moving into the age of Aquarius, and all your weapons and conflict must be put aside, and the race of which you are a part must proceed to its highest stages of its evolution. And if you show yourselves worthy to do so, then you can share in the Great Awakening. If not, that's your ass. And what do you see taking place? What do you see taking place? Huh? What do you see taking place? It's nowhere in the world that we should be discussing anything other than the sun, genetics, and our children. Sun, genetics, and our children. Genetics, sun, and our children. Children, sun, and genetics. It's nothing else for us to talk about. Nothing else for us to talk about. However, when you wake up every day and you're about getting at a bag, when you wake up every day and you want somebody to pay your mortgage, pay for your next vacation, and you want to floss for people. You know the shit when you say, you know what, the brother got killed or the sister got killed, you know what, I'm gonna pay for her funeral. Like that's really doing something. What? That ain't doing nothing, bro. Sister, what the fuck is that doing? I'm gonna pay for the funeral, you know what I mean? That's not doing nothing. That does something for the child mind grown adult. That does absolutely nothing for us. Instead of really truly empowering our people. And the way you empower your people is you don't enable them. You give them the sources to get the information. You empower them with breadcrumbs, with true breadcrumbs. So when I'm getting ready to read off of some of this stuff today and show you what's going on with our sun interactions with our genetics, it's up to you to say, you know what? You can either listen to my video and go on about your business for the rest of the day, or you can listen to my video and say, you know what? Let me read up on this. Let me read up on that. And now let me pay attention, because it's becoming very hard to ignore what the universe is saying through brothers and sisters down here on this planet. It is becoming very hard, isn't it? It's becoming very hard to ignore that people are literally standing in the shade and trying to hide from the sun. It's becoming very hard to ignore that people are walking around with umbrellas. It's becoming very hard, isn't it? It's no longer pseudoscience. It's no longer, oh, they're crazy, they're off their rocker. What do you mean there's something in the sky? Geometrical shapes in your clouds now. And you see all of this being reported now over social media. But when I was sitting here telling you this, even with Brother Riz, when he was with me, we was telling you that the sky is alive. That's just a curtain, a dome. That's the shit that's hiding everything from you. The clouds are not what you think they are. When we was telling you this, oh, you're crazy. You need help. Stop smoking the marijuana. No, you better stop smoking the drug that you are on. Because if you think marijuana is the only drug, you done lost your mind. The chicken, the fish, the beef, the education, the money, that's a drug too. And you don't know how many of y'all on that drug that y'all actually constantly talking about getting at $1, getting at $1, get that money. You would rather sing about getting at $1 than actually sit back and find out how was the dollar created in the first place. Literally, where did it come from? How did we all of a sudden went from plucking apples and fruits off of fucking trees to none of them trees around anymore, to having a economic system ran through our resources on this planet? How do we go to that? How do we go from actually sharing the earth, which the earth is sharing with us? How do we actually go to actually having a monetary system with this? And we actually coach this shit on amongst each other. You know why? Because some of us are being successful in the demons world. See, when you're successful in the demons world and it's all about you want everybody to look at you, which is a form of mental illness as well, loneliness. That's what it is. So when you want everybody just to look at you, this is what you will coach to the next generation. See, you have no problem with it. So let me finish. Let me move on, my people. To everybody in the chat, I value people that's on Instagram. I am on YouTube. I am definitely on YouTube. Give me 1 second, my people. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Thank you all for being patient. Thank you all for being patient. Thank you for being patient. And best believe, like I said, I always know that when people come into my chat, especially on YouTube, because I can't block you on YouTube, all I say to you is this: we can always go live together. I have never turned down a live with anyone, not at all. We can always go live together, but I know that most of the people are not going to want to go live. You know why? Because I'm too powerful intellectually. That's why. My wisdom is very strong. So let's go over here real fast. Let's look at a few things. Let me see. Let me make sure my screen is up. Let me make sure it comes up over here. Explain how we are prokaryotic cells and they are eukaryotic cell. Okay. A prokaryotic. Matter of fact, I'm going to get into that. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm going to get into that right here. I'm glad you said that. Let me pull this down a little bit so I don't forget. Here we go right here. So listen, this is the Gold's X-ray flux, right? And the Gold's X-ray flux, it monitors these charged CMEs, coronal mass ejections that come from the sun. And these particles, when it's a coronal mass ejection, it's like a burst of energy that comes from the sun. And these particles they're like fire. I mean, they on fire. They're very hot. And what happens with these particles, they interact with the smallest building unit of the cell, which is an atom. And when they interact with that atom, the electrons that are around the atom, because the electrons are the glue. The electrons are the holder. That's why I say women are the controllers of life. The electrons are the glue. All right, I have to do this like this. The electrons are the glue. So it separates the electrons like this. It opens it up just like that. And it exposes the internal of the atom. And what happens is when it opens up like that, now it opens up to what? UVC radiation. UVC radiation is a detoxifier, a germ killer, a mutating wavelength. Let me just say that again. UVC radiation, which is ground level, and it's been here for at least 6 or 7 years, is a detoxifier, a germ killer, a mutating wavelength. So if you look at this Gold's X-ray flux, you had one X flare, you had 2 X flares and 2 major strong M flares. Now, when you look at this chart over here from A, B, C, M, and X, these are the frequencies and the level of the charged particles that come. So you in A, you have 0 to 9. In B, you have 0 to 9. C, you have 0 to 9. M, same thing. What happens is when you go to B, B0 or B1, right? B1 is 10 times stronger than A9. So B2 is 10 times, B1 is 10 times stronger than A1. B2 is 10 times stronger than A2. So when you go up to C, the same thing. When you go up to M, it's the same thing. M flare, this M9 flare, okay, fine. If it was an X9 flare, it is 10 times stronger than the M flare. And this is what they're not telling you, just so that you know. So each one of these levels literally multiply the frequency that's coming from the sun. Now, let me go over here real fast to, where did I pull this up? Right here. So we can pull this up right here, so we can read this together. And this is what I want to explain to y'all real fast, how this is the difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are single cell organisms. Now, when they tell you about single cell organisms, they always want to bring up bacteria and certain other fungi that live on a planet and which live in you and outside of you. You understand? They want to tell you that. However, and they also tell you in the beginning of every biology book that life starts from a single cell. It didn't go from a single cell to 2 cells or 3 cells. It went from single cell to complex cell. A complex cell organism is an organism that has different DNA sequences of other species that cannot sexually reproduce with. Now, YouTube, at any point in time, you're more than welcome to shut this video down if I'm lying, if I'm making this up. See, you don't have to go to school you don't have to go to their schools to understand medical terminology. You have to go to their schools to practice on other dummies. That's what you have to do. You don't have to go to their school to learn medical terminology, because these doctors, these geneticists, these biologists, they put these books out here because it's universal law. They have to put them out there. So now let's just go over this real fast. X-ray flares, like those emitted by the sun. So they always want to give you X-ray flares. X-ray flux, but they're going to say X-ray flares, like just when you go into the fucking doctor's office and you get an X-ray. No, that's just not the key. That's not the problem here. It's just what's coming from the sun. X-ray flares, like those emitted by the sun, can damage DNA by causing breaks in the DNA strand and alter its chemical structure. Now, let me just make this clear. So-called black people, our genetics, our DNA, our cells is covered by what you call neuromelanin. No other species on this planet have neuromelanin. Everybody want to say in the medical field, we all have melanin. No, you don't, because your doctors cannot lie to you. Ask your doctors, what's the different types of melanin, and see what they tell you. Eumelanin is connected to birds' feathers. You can see that, and you can pull it up. What animals produce eumelanin? That's all you have to do. You can look up and you can clearly see if your DNA is going to produce what it says, what's the coding in your DNA. And your DNA starts off as a little dot. So whatever your DNA is coded to be, that's what your body is going to produce. If we don't have any animal DNA, why the hell we would produce eumelanin? We don't have that. So we have what you call neuromelanin. Neuromelanin is condensed sunlight. Now, it's coated over all of our cells, and it's coated over our entire body. In order for you to change DNA, you have to cut into that strand. You have to cut into the DNA. And the only way you can cut into DNA is through what? Ultraviolet light. X-flares is cutting DNA right now on the planet. Nobody want to admit this. And again, YouTube, if I'm lying, then you're more welcome to shut the video down. But this is scientific facts and truth. You can look up CRISPR, Cas9. You can look it up. Cutting DNA and altering DNA. This is why black people, you don't understand something. So-called black people, we have been genetically modifying and creating races of people on this planet since we've been being raped. Just so that you know. I just want you to understand something. Once a white man sleeps with a black woman, or the black man sleeps with a white woman, you automatically created a whole new motherfucking species. Now, again, YouTube, You're more than welcome to shut this shit down if I'm lying. You can shut it down. It's okay. But again, if I'm telling the truth, let the video flow. The universal law. Let it flow. So here we go. You can look this up. CRISPR, cutting DNA. And here you go. X flares like those emitted by the sun can change DNA by causing breaks in DNA strands and altering its chemical structure, potentially leading to mutations and cancer. Mutations and cancer. The damage occurs by X-rays, X-rays, or what? CMEs, coronal mass ejections. X-rays are a form of ionizing radiation. What I just tell y'all? Ionizing particles. This is what coronal mass ejections is. Ionizing particle. Look, here you go over here. Ionizing radiation induced DNA injuries and damage. Detection in patients. Here you go. They're already telling you this shit, but you don't want to face this reality. And that's what I told you. Mother Universe is going to, listen, the embarrassment is on us. The joke is on the complex cell. So we can get up, the embarrassment is on us. And we ain't doing nothing but furthering our embarrassment by not dealing directly with genetics, the sun, and our children. Children, genetics, and our son. We're furthering our embarrassment. So don't ask for mercy. That's what I'm telling you. You can cry all the French toast you want. You can complain about the whip, the chain, and the noose all the fuck you want. But I'm letting you know right now, our brothers and sisters and Mother Universe is not going to show you an ounce of leniency because there is no whip on my back. There is no noose around my fucking neck other than the one I want to put there on myself. You know, Shannon Sharp, you freak motherfuckers, y'all want to whip each other now. Y'all want to do the same shit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. We want to do the same shit to each other and call it sexual love, the shit that we was experiencing during slavery. I mean, are we kidding each other? This is crazy. Pour hot wax on me, tie me up, choke me, beat my ass, and then have passionate sex after we done drunk Hennessy and all other type of shit. Are you kidding me? This is outrageous. I mean, this is outrageous. So anyway, moving forward, the damage occurs by X-rays are a form of ionizing radiation, meaning they have enough energy to knock electrons off of atoms, including those in DNA. I just told you it separates the electrons from around the atom and expose the atom. And when that atom is exposed, it is exposed to UVA, UVB, and UVC radiation. And all UVA and UVA and B has increased exponentially. And now UVC radiation that used to dissipate when it hit the ozone layer is now we have been absorbing this for the last 6 to 7 years. So now moving forward, here's more details, explanations. Direct DNA damage. X-rays can directly interact with DNA molecules, causing breaks in the DNA strand, particular double strand breaks. Hold on. Let me see what Shiz is saying to me. It's my brother real fast. He could be saying something to me. Secondary effects. The energy from X-rays can also create reactive oxygen spaces, ROS, in the cells, which can indirectly damage DNA by causing modifications or breaks. Our DNA cannot be altered because of our neuromelanin that's around our cells, that's around our body, that's around our genes. It can't be altered because when ultraviolet light hits our cells and they try to cut into our DNA, we just eat the sunlight. We just eat it. Black body radiation. You can look that up. Matter of fact, let me pull that up over here real fast. Let me add another thing right here real quick. Black body radiation. Physics. Black body radiation is the thermal electromagnetic radiation within the surrounding a body and thermodynamics equilibrium with the environment. Woo! We're gonna get back to this over here. Black body, that's why they say black body radiation. This right here. That's why they say that. Black body radiation. We absorb all levels of frequency and we emit all levels of frequency. And they know this. Let me get back over here let me get back over here and then I'll go over there. So here we go. Secondary effect. Okay, mutations in cancer. If DNA damage is not repaired properly, it can lead to mutations, which are changes in the DNA sequence. These mutations can accumulate and potentially lead to the development of cancer. While Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field provides protection. Listen to that again. While Earth atmosphere and magnetic field provide protection from most solar radiation, astronauts in space are exposed to higher levels of X-ray flares and need to be shielded. The risk is depends, meaning the higher the exposure, the greater the potential for DNA damage. So this is happening with airplane pilots right now, my people. This is happening with airplane pilots right now. This is why your airplanes are flying much lower. Now, let me go back. Let me see something here. Let me pull up something real fast. Here we go. I don't know why, I was stumbling over my words when I was reading that part right there. Sometimes it happens. It's okay. So now let's just look at Earth. This is the magnetopause. This is the interactions between Earth magnetic field, the dome that they was talking about, the sun, and Earth. This is all the interactions. So I want you to look at this very closely. And I'm just wondering why no one in the solar radiation community that reports on the sun, why do they not talk about these instruments right here? So anyway, the dome is this spaghetti strap that you see that's going from the north to the south. That's what this dome is. Oh, let me move this down. This dome right here is to protect some people from harmful solar radiation, ultraviolet light, whatever you want to call it. This is what this is. Now, if you look at over here, the sun would be over here, and look at all of the energy. Look at the impact of the energy that is happening, that is coming from those X flares, that is pressing down, squeezing the dome, cracking it open at certain points, and allowing excess radiation in. And then if you look at the backside of the planet, you see Earth is in a square too. If you can look back here, I don't know if do that magnifier glass come up on here? Let me see something real fast. Let me see if it'll allow it to come up. For some odd reason, when I use the magnifier glass, it doesn't allow it to come up on my. It doesn't come up on y'all, but I can see it. But I can see it. I don't know why it doesn't allow it to come up over there for y'all to see it though. But anyway, Earth is in a square. You will see these points show up at certain points when this energy is hitting the Earth. Earth is in a square. So, but look at all of the energy that is coming from the backside of the planet. Now, this energy on the backside of the planet equals the same amount or energy, the same amount of level of energy that is coming from your daytime sun. So when you say there's an X flare coming or M flares that are coming from the daytime, this energy back here look like X flares too. It looks like it's the same type of energy that is coming from our daytime sun. Now, whether that's underneath us, whether that's behind us, or whether that's over top of us, it's at nighttime. And if you look even more closer, you can see purple in here. You see purple radiation in this. And I want to pull up this real fast. I'll get to that. You see purple radiation. I got to change the screen in order to show you, but I'm going to show it. Literally, purple radiation. And you know what it is? When you see that level of purple radiation, according to their charts, they tell you to stay indoors. So how do we also know that there is energy coming from the backside of the planet? Well, here we go. This is solar wind velocity. And this monitors the speed of the energy or the particles that are coming from the sun. And I was listening to a video yesterday, and it was by BP Earthwatch. And I don't have no quarrels against anyone. And I have respect that he is trying to give out some information, but I can hear the way that y'all speak when y'all talk about the sun and its interactions, what's happening. Y'all stumble over your words, you start mumbling, you sound very nervous. You don't sound as confident as when you're talking about if the earth is flat around, if the weather anomalies, when you speak about your God or Jesus, you sound very confident when you speak about those things. But whenever you speak about the sun and its interactions, what's taking place with the planet, y'all kind of stumble over your words and you're not very clear and concise about what you're saying. But that's okay. And I understand why you're not like that, because this is hard to digest. It is, because if you're a mutation of a species, and you know that you have complications already with the sun, and now the intensity of the sun is increasing, and the ozone layer is being removed at the same French toast time, and that's not doing nothing but increasing the intensity of the sun even more. If that is going on, I understand how you feel. I truly do. I empathize with you. Now, I would tell you one thing. I do not empathize with you to the point where though I'm willing to sacrifice myself and my race for your greater good, for your existence. That is not happening. But I empathize with y'all. I'm being honest with you. I truly do. And more importantly, I empathize with your children, because little Joey, little Hakmat, and little Ying Ying, they babies. And I'm talking about from 0 to 9. You know what I mean? For real. They babies. I empathize with them more than anything. I'm just telling you, grown people are something different. But the kids, I'm just the babies that's going to have to endure this shit and have to adjust to this. This is crazy. It is happening faster than you expected. And not only that, the vegetation, the food resources is cutting down. And what's happening is, by your DNA being damaged, you're going to go deeper into your animal instincts. And the species that they genetically spliced you with is a cannibalistic species. It's a violent cannibalistic species. So I empathize for your children. The last dark ages, you fed your children oysters. You know why? Because it made the meat taste better. It was more sweeter. Listen, if you go watch the movie, it's a series. It's called Naked and Afraid. If you go watch the movie Naked and Afraid, right? I don't know how they can kill a snake and eat it with no seasoning. So if you can do that, my brothers and sisters, I would tell you, if you watch Naked and Afraid, not to look at people that feel, to make fun of anyone, but it gives you a lot of survival tips. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Like I told you, people think this shit is about a physical thing. No, it's not. It's a mental thing. Most people cop out on Naked and Afraid because they cannot mentally handle the conditions. It ain't about physically. It's about mentally. They cannot handle the conditions. So I would say, check it out. But anyway, as you look on the backside of this planet right here, you see, first of all, let's go over here. Earth is in the middle, the white side is the daytime side. So the sun is over here. These arrows represent the charged particles that are coming from the sun. They should hit the dome, and some of them should hit Earth, and they should travel out in the solar system. However, you look at these arrows are in reverse. These arrows are returning around back into the planet. And these arrows represent solar particles, photons, gamma radiation, whatever you want to call it, ultraviolet light, whatever you want to call it. That's what these arrows are representing. And they're pushing back into the planet. And also, I want to say to you, my brothers and sisters, if you look right here, right, as I'm circling my mouse around this right here, how is this showing up red? Your atmosphere is red, but you got a blue and black sky. You should know this already. If you don't notice anything, especially when it rains, you should notice colors. I'm just telling you, and I'm not trying to be smart to those, you should notice colors. That means the colors are coming through. The light is passing through. This is why they spraying so much particles in the sky to reflect light, because the colors are showing up. and they can't do nothing about it. So now let me go over here real fast because I'm gonna have to finish. I'm gonna get through this as much as I possibly can. Now, they always tell you that you get 23 genes from your mother and 23 genes from your father, which is a total of 46 genes. Okay, that's not us. That's other races. That's the complex cell organism. That is not us, so that you know that. Now, autosomal recessive inheritance means a trait or disease is passed down when a child inherits 2 copies of a mutating gene, one from each parent. The parent themselves are often unaffected carriers. So let me make this clear. And this happens very highly happens in the Jewish community. So I just so that you know that. Now, the fake Jewish community. Mind you, they just told you that 2 parents or 1 parent can pass down a recessive gene. And these recessive genes have adverse effects, with the child. But guess what? Those genes that the parents are holding may not affect their parent. But however, the parent is holding on to genes that will affect their child. That's why I keep telling people that the complex cell they don't make an upgrade of themselves. They don't. They either make the same or it's a less. They do not upgrade themselves. When me and you have babies, so-called black woman, we are upgrading our children. We are literally genetically, anatomically, our children are upgrading. Why do you think when cell phones first came out, I don't know how to work this shit. And then you give it to a 3-year-old and they be like, well, I got this shit, know how to turn it on, know how to go to YouTube, know how to watch the videos, know how to play games, know how to download the shit on there. And then you give it to an older person, they be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. You see, we are constantly upgrading our genes, our children. We are constantly upgrading our genes. So here we go right here. It says autosomal recessive inheritance means a trait or disease is passed down when a child inherits 2 copies of a mutated gene, one from each parent. The parent themselves are often unaffected carriers, possessing 1 normal and 1 mutated gene. If both parents are carriers, there's a 25% chance their child will inherit 2 mutated genes and develop the condition. Woo! So let's go down here and look at this. There is where the truth comes in at. And I keep telling you, they got to give you the truth mixed in when they talk about this shit. Most of these genetic books are about their genetics, but they have to mention your genetics in there as well. Here you go right here. Autosomal means the gene is not on a sex chromosome. See, it's not on a sex chromosome. So the sex chromosome is not recessive, but it's on the other 22 chromosomes though. But it's not in the sex chromosome, which determines the sex of the child. Wow. Isn't that something? Isn't that something right there? Because this is who we are right here. Now, recessive means 2 copies of the mutated genes are needed to cause the disease. Inherited patterns are an infected individual inheritance 1 mutated gene from each parent. Carriers. Individuals with 1 mutated gene are carriers and don't have the condition themselves, but can pass it on. Okay, here we go right here. Example, cystic fibrosis and Tay-Sachs disease are example of autosomal recessive disorders. Now, do you not know what cystic fibrosis and Tay-Sachs disease is? Look this shit up, but I'm going to help you out with it. One is a neurological deficiency, meaning that your fucking neurons in your brain just start what you would call CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. They start, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm on YouTube live. I'm gonna call you right back. Which is, hold on. Okay. Cystic fibrosis and Tay-Sachs disease is a constant discharge or mucus buildup. So who is constantly releasing mucus inside of their body, who is constantly discharging mucus. And the other one is where your neurons just start dying. Like, how do you be born, and as you grow, your neurons should expand. They should compile more neurons. But when you're growing, as you're growing, your neurons are dying. What? And let me make this very clear. The brain controls all physical reality. The brain controls all physical reality. So when this is not working, something in this body is not working. Whether you're able to comprehend certain information, whether you're able to not drool on yourself, whether you're walking with a funny walk, or whether you're having some sort of disorder that's not normal. Just so that you know. So these are the things that are taking place right now. Whether you want to face this always was taking place, but because of the intensity, the wavelengths of the sun that are now have increased on the planet, this right here is happening at an accelerating rate. Why do you think that in Japan the baby rate has decreased? In China, the baby rate, creating babies, have decreased. The European creating babies have decreased. Why? Because they're becoming sterile. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. They are becoming sterile. You cannot make children. You wasn't supposed to make children in the first place. And it's very sad that your children has to suffer from this. I just want you to understand this. I don't get a lot of you. I told you, the adults, I'm not concerned with you, but the children that literally have to suffer from this, it's very hurtful to me. Very hurtful to me. I'm not coming to save them, because no one came and saved my babies from the crocodiles, from the raping and the abusing. You led your species down this path. It's up to you it was up to you at one point in time for you to have a love for your species beyond this physical world. It was up to you. It's not up to me now. I only came here to this planet to inform and to warn, and also to create a better world beyond the one that's getting ready to be, that's being destroyed. That's all I came here to this planet to do. I didn't come here to be the best basketball player, football player. I didn't come here to earn more money and be a billionaire. I didn't come here for that, because guess what? If that was for me, if that was my mission and that was for me to be, I would have done that. Just like you look at your NBA players, like you look at they all are doing what they wanted to come here and do. Because when you came down here stating that I'm going to change this world. I'm not going to be a part of it. Most of us recycled here. To be honest with you, that's why you see the activities that you see going on with us on the planet, because we are recycled. We are a recycled species here. Why do you think we like the sexual, the same things that took place during slavery? Why do we find love into that? Why do we find love in that? Why do we find love in that shit there? Just being honest with you. We shouldn't find love in abuse. We should not find that. And we damn sure, as grown adults, we should be intuitive enough to see how this world, this just generational curse, is being passed down to us. This entity will never let your children go. No matter what goes on, COVID-19, climate change, it's going to hold on to your children until it can't hold on to it no more. Our babies. You don't see that. It doesn't make a bit. I'm gonna try something real fast. Give me 1 second here, people. While I'm talking, I want to see something here. Let me see something here. In 2024 in the United States, how many abortions was committed? Wow. In 2024, there were 1,338,100 clinical provided abortions in the United States without a total ban, representing a slight increase from 2023. Let me hold on. I don't. Let me, why didn't I share this screen? Give me 1 second here. Why didn't I share this? I just wanted to see. I just wanted something. Sometimes I just be wanting to, because a lot of us, we got smartphones and we don't want to use it. In 2024, there was 1,038,100 clinical provided abortions in the U.S. states without total bans, representing a slight increase from 2023. This number includes abortion performed in states without bans, but also accounts for the estimate number of people traveling across state lines to obtain abortions. Wow. 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 And let me just say, I was checking over at the chat and said, listen, we don't have to explain yourself to those. There's going to be a lot of bots that's going to come to my channel. There's nobody, none of them ever wanted to go live. Nobody that comes in here wants to go live. So all of they want to do is just, you got to understand how the system works. They know that they're at an end. They have no other choice but to come in and try to distract the people that wants to share information with one another, because each one reach one. That's how we grow. It's not about one individual. And that's what we have lost sight of. It's not about one individual. It's about each one reach one. This is how we grow as a unit, sharing information, sharing our wisdom with one another. And I would tell you that you don't have to feed most of the people that's in the chat. Listen, I'll tell you what. All you have to do is tell the people that want to distract. It's only going to be a few. Say call in or go live with Kala. They won't do it. I have proven this over and over on Instagram. That's why the fake accounts don't even come. They come on a page, but they shut up instantaneously, because I'm not the average social media person. I'm not here to make money from people. I'm not here to capitalize off of our destruction. I'm here to light a fire underneath you, or not even a fire. I'm here to pass off ultraviolet light to remind you of you, so that way you can step into your own greatness. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to I'm not here to earn a living off of you, because I don't believe in earning a living. You understand? I don't believe in actually paying for the natural resources on this planet. Am I a prisoner of war and I have to do it? Sure, not a problem. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to capitalize off my own people's self-destruction. I'm not going to do that. In fact, if you really wanted to be honest with you, let's just be honest for the people that have been watching my videos for the last several years. If I wanted to be a lot of people and say I'm talking to the higher councils, and I'm speaking to the higher councils and they telling me this, right, this, that, and the third, I would be able to do it. Y'all know I would be able to do it, because look at what I'm showing you. I show you the blue Kachina. I show you the pulsating sun, the green orb. I show you your star family. And I even bring you hard evidence and what they have already showed you that all documented regarding genes. If I wanted to be that person, I could, but that's capitalizing off of destruction. And those that have great power have great responsibility. And the true power is knowledge of self, wisdom of self, and discipline, and having no fear to speak up against darkness. That's the true power. That's true power right there. And the ultimate power is woman, child, and man. That's the ultimate power. Ultimate. These people say that they're speaking to higher counselors. Why not one of them stated, nobody in a higher counselor ever said to them, yo, your children are being abducted at an accelerating rate. Life is in the blood. The children are carrying around genes that they want, that gives them life, that allow these beings to have ever immortal life. They continue their lifespan. Now, granted, these beings can't leave the planet, but they can live for a long period of time, long as they're drinking your blood and taking your energy. Not one guru that has been speaking to the higher motherfucking councils. I don't know where they at, but not one of them have told you this. Not one of them has told you none of this. Not one guru, not one higher council that you have visited when you were asleep, when you were fucking meditating, have ever told you black people, so-called black people, are the #1 organic species on this planet. And these species are living off of your fear, your energy, and your children's blood. Not one of them told you this? Not one told you this. I mean, I'm being honest. Not one motherfucker told you this. Now, I already told you, when I go to sleep, I don't know what the fuck I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know where I'm going. I just know when I go to sleep and I wake up, there is a different type of energy each and every time. That's it. I don't know. And that energy is like an enhanced one. Like, it's like, yo, talk about this. Yo, don't forget about this. Yo, don't do that. Don't talk about, let's go. Let's go. That's what the energy says to me. I have never had a conversation with no higher council. I have never had a conversation with God. I have never had, and if I did, the motherfucker never talked back to me. So I don't know. I've never spoken to no one. But these people are talking to the higher councils, and they're telling the higher councils are I told you, sometimes you gotta laugh to stop from fucking crying. I'm telling you, you really gotta do it. You really gotta do it. That's why I live a whole new different life. I'm telling you, my life is completely different. And it's you can't be around ignorance. You can't be around ignorance. You understand? And ignorance, let me just tell you this, ignorance will admire you. They will admire you like a motherfucker, man. Ignorance will sit back and be like, damn. They will really admire you and challenge you in their motherfucking minds. That's what they would do. Not verbally, not physically. They will sit back and challenge you in their fucking mind the whole entire time, because they're trying to figure out, how are you in tune or in a line and I'm not? How are you like this? What are you doing? I'm eating healthy. I'm working. I'm exercising. I everywhere I go, no matter where I'm at, I speak truth. I don't bow to nobody, and I don't want nobody to bow to me. I just unapologetic truth. No matter where I go, I don't allow someone personal feelings to get in to take precedence over truth. I don't do that. We have all made mistakes in this world. All of us. No one is perfect when it comes to their characteristics, but we're perfectly designed to rewire our minds. That's the difference. And you make a choice to actually sit in that sleeping slumber and them fucking programs all the time, or you can change it. This ain't got nothing to do with no gun. This ain't got nothing to do with no fucking military weapon or no sword. See, it's a verse that said, those that carry a sword and know how to use it, but keep it sheathed. Let me say that again. Those that carry a sword and know how to use it, but keep it sheathed, will inherit it. That's who will be in the favor of the universe. Think about that. Those that carry a sword and that's the first thing that they want to use is their sword. No, because this don't take violence to take back our children. They needed violence to separate your conscious mind from your subconscious mind. They needed that. But this don't take violence to take us back. To get us back to each other, it don't take. It takes a genuine, loving, devoted heart to its species that set boundaries. That's what it takes. It doesn't take no violence. Believe me, that species needed to be violent. We don't need to be violent. We need to set boundaries. That's all. I value my people. I thank you all. I sincerely do. I thank you all, even the ones good, bad, or indifferent in the chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You understand? I say, Mother Universe, this is what I would say to those that want to really, if you really want to send some energy out to Mother Universe, here we go. Let me give you something for Kala. Mother Universe, if Kala Ma'at Amin Ra, if he is lying to his people, if he is manipulating his people, if he is capitalizing off the psychological and physical destruction of his people, and he doesn't want each and every last individual to see their own beautiful light, their own unique light, and to get back to our children, if he is lying about any of that, get his ass off of here. Get his ass out of here. We don't need that. However, if he is telling the truth and he means every word that spills out of his mouth, hold me accountable for my negativity that I'm spewing towards him. See, let's make it fair. I'm all for that shit. Let's make it fair. Let's make it fair. You can't do that. You know why? Because you know what will happen to you. See, I know what karma is, and I know how the universe works. Trust me when I tell you. I value you all. I appreciate you all. I want y'all all to have an amazing, supreme, cosmic rest of your day. Let me get up out of here. Woman, child, and man, why are we prokaryotic cells and they are eukaryotic cells if they prokaryotic cells don't have membranes? I just went into that, man. I don't want to keep going back and forth. I think I answered that question on many different occasions when it comes down to the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. We don't have internal membranes. We don't have internal organelles. We don't have chloroplasts. We don't have any of that. You know what I'm saying? Search up midichlorians. Search up midichlorians. You understand? We're different. Our cells look completely different than theirs. Although we have antigens attached to the outside of our cells that makes our immune system and our lymphatic system weak, but you cannot penetrate our cells and change the DNA. You have antigens on the outside of our cells. And think about the antigens. Antigens are antibodies, those that go against the body. So just think about something now. The species in which that share dog, fruit fly, fish, pig, wolf DNA, all these animal DNAs. Guess what? We eat chicken. Guess what? Black people eat chicken. And all you're doing is feeding the antigens that was already raped into you. You see what I'm saying to you? You're just feeding it. But that's why the moment that you stop feeding those antigens, what takes place with you? Your skin start coming back. Your eyes start coming back. Your hair start growing crazy. Your body give off a whole new different odor. You're moving different. Your dendrites in your brain started swelling up. Your neurons are no longer repolarizing and depolarizing. They're actually firing off on key like they're supposed to. These are the things that takes place. And you don't need to be educated by them in order for you to articulate yourself, believe in yourself, know thyself, and trust trust your fucking self. When you start to get educated, indoctrinated, and start to look at the world, that's when you start to develop self-doubt. You have to be able to believe and trust and know your fucking self and stop depending on or basing your life off of other people's opinion of you. That's the fucking key to excelling. So if that don't help you out, I don't know what else can continue to help you out. I value you all. Woman, child, and man, cosmos and earth, eternal light. Each one reach one. This is how we grow. I see you, my brothers and sisters. Protect yourself at all times with knowledge, sunlight, chlorophyll, distilled water, and 3D human free. Kalama Amin Ra, God gene for life. Some blood, some blood, some blood. I am not black. Gizzo. It's not about one love. It's about whole love. Peace, abundance, and gratitude to you all.